A lot of people hate this update. Reasonably so, I completely understand. But I personally love the update. Why do I love the update? Well, personally, because every character is equalized. Everybody's on even playing fields. I think that this whole update was beautiful. As a matter of fact, it's so beautiful that they even ignored the entire aspect of one character that I don't really care about, Shallot. Shallot is in the game. Shallot is here, guys. Shallot. Shallot sucks. I think Shallot is the worst thing that ever happens in this game.
What's good, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Christian here again with another video, and this time I got a reaction to Zero's TV. Now, if you don't know who this guy is, this guy to me represents like the perfect casual voice, okay? So he's skilled at the game, but he doesn't treat it too serious, and he wants to have fun with the game. He's saying he loves the update. So I decided to do a reaction because I came forward and said that I support the changes that they implemented in the update, and I thought it was going to be good for the casual player. And like I said, I think Zero's TV is like the perfect casual voice. So I'm going to be listening to what he thinks about the update and give my feedback and insight to kind of like fill in the gaps. You know what I mean? So let's get started.
Period. I think Shallot is complete hog trash garbage.
Okay, so let's start with that. Shallot being garbage. I called it that Shallot was going to be garbage. People got on my ass for going after Shallot because they love Shallot. But listen, guys, like I said, this is a Sparking Zero channel, okay? I talk from a Sparking Zero community perspective. And from our perspective, all the DLC characters that have been dropped have been lackluster. Not all of them, but most of them. So I knew that a halfway put together character last minute was gonna be hot garbage, and I was right. And as you see, Zero's TV has the balls to say it as well, okay? Shallot is garbage. He's a throwaway 5DP character. It is what it is. We need to get over it. But guess what? At least the freaking patch was amazing. So I can't even complain about that because I really don't care about Shallot. But the patch, in my opinion, was amazing for the game, okay?
Why do I think Shallot is garbage? Because he's boring. He's just a boring character. There's nothing to him. He has no sauce. There's really nothing to the character outside of if you play Legends or Dokkan Battle. I believe those are the games where Shallot is from. I believe it's Legends more so. Then you might actually enjoy Shallot. However, this character should have transformations. From what I checked online, Shallot has Super Saiyan God. He has other forms. He should have all of his stuff. They could have added Cumber.
Not only should he have transformations, and in fact, I didn't even expect him to have transformations because that would mean that they have to create more characters for this DLC. It would have made it a bigger DLC. But I at least expected a character that was going to reuse assets to have more of a customizable moveset, especially if you're going to implement him from a game that has customizable movesets, right? But of course they didn't implement that, and his skills are generic. Putting WoW Sense again on a DLC character is just unacceptable at this point. I don't want to see WoW Sense again, okay? Put something else on characters. We don't need more WoW Sense characters, okay?
Shallot, in totality, has 2 rushes and a beam move. That's what he's got. Wild Cannon, that's a beam move. Look at that. Boom. Very boring basic move. He has Wild Sense. Ancient Soul actually gets your entire key up. Look at his key. Boom, that goes up.
Now, his buff is really useful, but his buff is kind of like the same as Glorio's, and we're going to be honest. And that's another thing. Like, if you come from a Legends community and you're coming to Sparking, you're not seeing all the things that we went through to kind of get here. When Glorio dropped, I said, listen, this character could be so much better. Like, if you just add certain elements to that buff, if you add an extra aura, some lightning effect when he goes into that buff, like some sauce that you could add to the DLC character, then I maybe wouldn't be complaining about these DLC characters. But it's because they come out in such a generic state that it really like frustrates me as a Sparking creator, let's say. So when people from other communities hype up these characters, when I know full well that the character is going to be half-assed and kind of halfway put together, it really kind of just hurts Sparking Zero specifically, okay? And remember, this channel is niched down to just Sparking content. So that's where I'm coming from that perspective. So when you yell and scream and do all this other extra shit for a character that I know for a fact was going to come out being half-assed and generic, it hurts Sparking Zero, and I got to call you out for it, okay? So I don't apologize for that. I was justified in doing that, and I don't regret making that video. So
I'm not really sure why that is. They should have added more to the character because right now he is base boring, and I don't I don't hate him, but I don't like him. He's not somebody I
And that's the thing. I don't hate him, but I don't like him. So he's gonna go in the trash can after a week, like I said. Okay.
ignoring the fact that I don't like Shallot that much, despite the fact that it's probably going to get some Legends players over from the mobile game to actually come over and play the game, or maybe even some people from Super Dragon Ball Heroes.
So that's one positive that came out of this is that Dragon Ball Legends fans maybe got introduced to Sparking Zero. And the thing is, the criticism that I had when I made that video and I said there's no content here for, those people when they come over, they kind of fixed that in a way by changing the game modes. That's what you gotta realize. Sparking community people, they kind of hate the change sometimes because they're like, oh well, now it's not Tenkaichi. Now we can't play with weak characters against strong characters. But this was, in my opinion, the perfect strategy by introducing Shallot, who kind of lures in more casual players, and then changing the mode to make it more balanced so that people could come in and use Shallot in singles without getting absolutely destroyed. I think that was a necessary change and it's good for the game, okay? And me complaining that I can't use weak characters against strong characters for my ego's sake, in a way, is kind of like a selfish ask. I'm basically saying I want the game to be worse so that I could feel better about myself. And I'm not going to do that. I lost the opportunity to use, for example, Cell Jr. against SS4 Gogeta, but the game is better for it for the overall player base. And I'd rather sacrifice that and have the game be better so that more people play it than me just have the opportunity to do that long term and hurt the game for it, okay? So in my opinion, it was a necessary change. I'm happy that they did it. And, I'll get over it. I don't need to go fulfill my ego by playing Cell Jr. against SS4 Gogeta to enjoy this game, okay? I already enjoy the game. And if you want to do that, go ahead and go to DP Battle, because right now it's freaking impossible to beat high DP characters with 3 DP characters. So if you could do that, you are skilled at the game. So
I expect what if scenarios because we have him. I want Super Boo absorbing Frieza. I want Super Boo absorbing Cell. That's what I want. I want Super Boo absorbing Vegeta.
And we've had those characters, by the way. If you go to Budokai 3, okay? If you go to Budokai 3, the first Budokai series, we have Super Boo absorbing Frieza, absorbing Cell, and they were cool characters. So I agree. Now that we have Shallot here, we want more what if characters, okay? A lot of people want more what if characters. We want Gohan Black in the game with his own moveset. Like, we want those characters. So hopefully Spike will get on that, and hopefully they make them interesting. Stop making generic DLC characters.
Hopefully we can get a battle pass with some customization options. That'd be great. I would love that if we could actually get that in the game. I doubt we're going to. I truly doubt we're ever going to get that. But it would be beautiful if we could have that. Wouldn't that be fun for us Dragon Ball Z players? That'd be outstanding.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, stop dropping characters. We don't need more characters. And I know we have another DLC with more characters coming, which is a damn shame. I'd rather them slow down on the freaking characters. If you just add customization options to the 200 and some characters that we have already, this game would be incredible right now, especially with the changes to the online game modes. In my opinion, like, this game could be revived. I know a lot of people lost hope and they're like, oh, this game is dead. But bro, if they release a trailer with costumes, new maps, and now they just they just added 2 game modes, this game could bring back a lot of players, because at the end of the day, Dragon Ball is Dragon Ball. That IP is so powerful. It even got me back from retirement. Listen, guys, I was not playing video games like that, before this game dropped. This game got me back into video games, basically. And it's all because that name, Dragon Ball Tenkaichi, okay? That is huge. You could get players back if you just add the right modes and the right content to the game. So there's still hope for the game, guys. Let me say this. I like Zero as a creator. He has a lot of takes that I disagree with, but he also has a lot of takes that I agree with. And I just appreciate the fact that he gives his opinion like wholeheartedly, and he makes no apologies for it, and he doesn't go with the mainstream thoughts about the game. He has his own opinions about the game, and he's not afraid to say them. I feel like a lot of creators just kind of parrot, like bigger creators or creators that get a lot of respect in the community. But listen, guys, just like me on this channel, like, this is my opinion. If you don't like it, you don't have to agree with it, okay? It is what it is, and I'm not gonna just parrot opinions from bigger creators, because I don't care about the numbers like that, guys. Like, I'm not really like an online person like that. Like I said, I just came out of retirement and started this YouTube channel as a passion project. So I'm not part of the online community. Like, I'm not going to say I don't respect these creators like that, but I just don't look up to them like that. Okay. I'm just here, give my opinion. And if you like that, just continue following me because I'm going to keep doing that. Okay.
But I just got some news that informed me that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero had a crazy change that I didn't even know about while I was playing it. So naturally I was just playing single battle mode where they adjusted everybody for even mode, and I was complaining about the fact that they should add a lore accurate mode in order to make it better for a lot of people playing the game. I am a fool. As a matter of fact, I'm an idiot because there is a lore accurate mode.
So now we're moving on to the next video. He posted another video. This one's about DP battle. At first he thought they just made the game balanced, but they didn't add a lore accurate mode. But guys, if you want a lore accurate mode, DP battle is the mode for you right now. There's a lot of things that change for DP battle. If you're a singles battle player, that's a whole different game mode right now. You need to go try it out because the meta right now is 2-man teams and 3-man teams. And in my opinion, that is the best way to play Sparking Zero. So go try it out if you're a singles player right now.
As a matter of fact, I don't want them to change anything about this update because I was playing, I apologize. I was playing this mode right here. Holy crap, this is DP mode. I'm going to show you something that's going to shock you. This is Master Roshi. You guys remember the threat that Master Roshi posed? I don't think the threat exists anymore. As a matter of fact, dare I say the threat is non-existent and negligent. The difference in damage now is so drastic. It feels like a giant is fighting me.
And let me touch on that because obviously I just came out with a DP battle video and I came in support of the changes to this mode. But let me be completely 100% transparent. Like, the changes are good for the game long term, but it's just the first step. I feel like there's some refinement that needs to happen here because the thing is the 10 DP characters are too strong compared to, let's say, like a 9 or an 8 DP at the top of the scale, right? So there's a very easy way to fix that, but it's just, how do I explain this? So like, this change needed to be drastic because the thing about DP is that singles players just freaking hate the mode. It has a bad vibe attached to the name. If I even mention DP battle to a singles battle player, they damn near throw up in their mouth and they tell me to go somewhere else. Okay, like, they don't want to play the mode because they just associate DP with cheese and stall tactics, which is exactly what singles players don't like. So they needed to do something drastic so that the word would get out that DP battle is now a different mode. Okay, if they would have made just a gradual change to DP again, nothing would have happened. It would have stayed dead. Nobody would have looked at it again, and maybe it wouldn't even have attracted players like Zero here to try it again. Okay, but because the change is so drastic, as you see, they're curious to go try out the mode. So I'm glad that the change was drastic. I'm glad that the 10 DP characters are super broken right now because it's a way to shake up the marketing, right? But the next step needs to be that they bring those 10 DP characters a little bit more in line, okay? They are too OP at the moment, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because I'm thinking long term. I'm not thinking short term. I know a lot of people they look at the first step and they freak out over it, okay? But this is just a first step. Okay, they changed the mode for the better, in my opinion. And the next step needs to be that those DP damage bonuses for the top end of the scale become a little less pronounced. So the way you do that is, I'm a little bit of a nerd, okay? I'm a science nerd. That's how I make my money in real life. Basically, if the damage bonus right now is linear, which I'm assuming it is, basically means every DP value you get an increase bonus, right? At the same rate, right? It's linear. Then all you would need to do to bring those characters in line at the top of the scale is just add like a diminishing return, meaning, okay, it starts off linear, and then as you get to the top of the scale, you reduce the difference between each DP value. So it's more of like not a linear curve, okay? Not a linear change. And if you do that, then the 10 DP characters would be kind of similar in damage bonus to the 9 and the 8s. And then those 10 DP characters wouldn't be so overwhelming at the top end of the scale. It'd be a little bit more balanced. But right now, I'm assuming that the damage bonus is linear. Now, if somebody can go into the game files and let me know how the damage bonuses actually work, then I could come up with a more accurate strategy for how they could change the mode for the better. But in my opinion, this first step was a necessary step, and I approve of this change wholeheartedly. And I think it needed to be drastic in order to shake up their marketing and then the general view of DP Battle, which is very negative right now in the overall player base. Okay, I know the DP Battle players, they have their little bubble where they love DP Battle, but guys, everybody hates that mode, guys. You living in a bubble, get outside your bubble. No one was playing it. That game was dead in the water, and it needed to be just put out of its misery so that we could get something new. And this is the new thing, and I approve of it, okay?
This is an insane difference in damage. Now, obviously, this is the DP difference. They said they made the DP difference more noticeable. I notice it. It is insanely different. You have to get relative to the close to the same DP to be even doing the same damage. This is going to change how we make teams in DP battle mode forever.
Another thing I want to mention is that a lot of the DP battle players are competitive players. So maybe you notice the difference a lot more than an overall player would. Okay, so maybe for you it's extremely unbalanced, but maybe the overall player base will feel different. Maybe they can make 3-man teams more viable and be able to defeat Whis with 3-man teams and stuff like that. We don't know. We need to see. We need to give time for the player base to try the mode out. Now, at the competitive level, at the top end of the scale, the best players in the world, Whis is just ridiculous because your skill is ridiculous, okay? But you're a minority at the end of the day. You're like an extreme minority of the player base. The overall player base, I don't know if they're going to be able to use Whis as effectively as a competitive player. We need to see what happens, okay? The devs have the statistics of what characters get used the most, who wins the most, etc. Like, I know I come on this channel and I hate on them, like especially a couple months ago when the game was like trash, okay? I was hating on them left and right, okay? But clearly they have the data to make decisions based on that, okay? Like, they can see better what's going on than we can, okay? As far as statistics is concerned. And so we need to give them time to see how the meta evolves based on this, how players behave based on this, to really make a decision whether this change was good or not, okay?
The way the game is now, it is drastically different. I'm going to set a team, actually. I'm going to actually go to DP Battle and we'll make a team. There is no universe, no dimension, no planet in which I suspected they would go this sicko mode with the DP mode. It feels wildly different, and I think they did the rank reset.
Dude, me neither. I usually say like, oh, like Spike's not gonna surprise me. They just come out with the same shit, blah blah blah. But I'm not gonna lie, this change took me by complete surprise. I didn't think they were gonna go this crazy with DP Battle, and I just have to applaud it. I just have to applaud them because they took a risk finally with the game. And that's the thing about the community. Like, they don't like change. Like, they hate on the game, but they don't want the game to change. And that makes absolutely no sense to me. If you hate the game, you want it to change, right? I made a video about that. I forget what the video is called. But basically, I think it was called I'm Happy Sparking Zero's Dead. And it's because, like, it's funny because the community, on one hand, won't even play the game. But if you change it too much, they freak out. But why would you freak out when you don't even play the game? It makes no sense. It makes no logical sense to me. If you hate the game, then you want it to change drastically, right? So here we go. They actually changed the game. They took a risk, and I applaud them for that because it kind of shows that they finally have a kind of like a plan for the game. It's not just sitting there with bugs and shit. They're thinking, okay, DP Battle is going to be like this going forward, okay? I like that. I approve of the change.
But I'm pretty sure they did the rank reset for DP battle mode as well. I'm not even sure. I don't know if they did the rank mode reset yet. But I am wildly impressed right now. I'm just over the moon. I didn't suspect them to actually commit to this. I thought they were going to do some half-butted thing and not do this full committed, but they went full hog with this. They actually fully committed to.
And see, Zero saying the same exact thing that I'm saying. It's like, at least the devs showed some freaking balls for once. They're like, okay, like, F what the community wants, F what anybody wants. This is the plan moving forward for this game, and I gotta respect that. I gotta respect it. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if the community hates it. I respect that. Okay. As a dev, I'm a fan of games first. Okay. I'm not just a Tenkaichi fan. So as a fan of games and game design, I respect that decision. They made a decision and they stuck with it and they said, we're going to change this mode. And I don't care what anyone has to say about it, because basically whatever they want to say is irrelevant because they're not even playing the mode. The mode was dead in the water. So respect fully that decision.
I'll give my final thoughts about how I feel about everything. I didn't suspect that they would actually make DP battle mode, the disparity between the characters, to be this drastic. It feels wildly different. It doesn't even feel like the same game. It feels like I'm playing something wildly. It's so good. And this on top of the changes they made to single battle mode. Ooh. That's beautiful. This is just, I love this. I might just go right back into the game.
And as you see, like I said, Zero is like the perfect representation of like a good casual player. Somebody who loves the game, is skilled at the game, doesn't treat it too serious, but wants to have fun with the game. He's loving the changes. And just like Zero, there's a lot of players that are going to love these changes because now they can play with their favorite characters without having to lose to MUI all the time. And then they have a lore accurate mode where they could get really cool interactions and feel, you know, more like Dragon Ball when you play that mode now. Okay, so overall, the changes in my opinion were perfect, not only for casual players, but for competitive players as well. There's a lot of competitive players that couldn't play Sparking Zero because they felt like the character diversity was so small when they played singles that it was just kind of like too cheese, right? And now that they balance everything out, they can use characters in the 7DP scale at least to compete with those characters, and it's a lot more diverse, okay, overall. So I think that patch, in my opinion, they knocked it out of the park, like I said in my other videos. And Zero here is kind of like agreeing with me.
They add customizations into the game. I might go back into the game. This might be my calling grace.
And that's the end of the video. But like he said, the last step here right now is customization options, maps, and additional PvE content. If they do that with the changes to the gameplay and the changes to the game mode, I will finally say Sparking Zero is a good game. I dare to say, if they refine it further, it could be a great game, okay? Because already I like the game, even in a buggy state. Now it's a good game. I like it even more. If they refine it further past that, hey man, we cooking at that point. So, hey, let me know if you agree with me. And catch me on the next video because I'm going to be talking about the community, okay? Because there's a lot of people talking about the toxic community, and I want to get my thoughts on that as well. So I'll catch you on that one. Peace out.